So, hello everyone. The Saturday session. So, we are going to focus on getting to know another nuance about 2021. So, the key thing that we are focusing on today in terms of understanding what 2021 is about, the nuance that we are going to understand better and then anchor it with our human vibe attunement is the nuance of camaraderie. So, whilst 2021 is a year of flowing and flow, and we are in the flowing current that is constantly moving forward, and there is an invitation for us to experience that graciousness that comes with gratitude. What is also being anchored in 2021 is camaraderie. So we already know that the energies of this time on the planet are all about collaborative co-creation of coexistence. And we can have people as collaborators, which we will and we do, and some we will be consciously choosing, and others will become our collaborators without us even realizing. Co-creation is just the norm. But actually, to be be a collaborator where there is an existence of camaraderie is is a very sweet experience. It's like we have a stand that we've taken for ourselves, for our life, and for our world, and we are on the same page. We have the same intention. We are aware of our own strengths and how we go about doing it, and what is it that we offer, and we are willing and open and ready to share that generously without any encumbrance. And it is in that spirit of camaraderie that we come together to collaborate and co-create coexistence. And there we are, flowing in our own flow, recognizing the importance of our comrade being in flow. So, really being the perfect dance partners to each other. And it doesn't have to be camaraderie spirit with one person, it could be several, it could be a community, it could be an institution, even. The spirit of camaraderie is what is important to understand and operate from. And that is what is being shared and anchored in what we are going to be talking about today. I mean, it's quite beautiful, really, to know that we come together every Saturday, not only to understand a nuance of 2021, but also to be the fine tuner of that and to attune it with the vibe of love. I mean, I became so present to the profoundness of what we are doing. Considering money was created as an energy source, as a device, as a mode of transaction, and it was created with the vibration and the energy of command and control. All those years ago, when it was created by humans. Because no other living being or living thing has any need for money. But we created it, and it was got infused with that, with its originating intent of command and control. So here we are, bringing forth this birthing pool, if you like, or the rebirthing pool for our planet and for us as humans and humanity. And we are attuning it with the innate vibration of being love. And we are understanding what is available to us to attune so that we as humans are able to tap into that energy, tap into that source, because it is in the attunement of who we are in terms of our own vibration. That is the yumminess of what we do every Saturday. It is the most accelerated way of enabling humans to receive whatever it is that we bring in the human vibe attunement to. So literally our cells can absorb it. So it becomes closest to our own vibrations. Not only does it become the closest to our own vibrations, it actually it gets imbued by our vibration of love. So our human form can receive it. How wonderful, you know? I mean, I myself listened to the transmission about gratitude and graciousness that came through last Saturday. And it felt so wonderful to know that every aspect of my human form is receiving this like the perfect match to my own vibe. And through me, as a holographic presence that is connected vibrationally to so many beings across the planet that I have connected with, met directly or indirectly, and they're all receiving the benefit of what is becoming one with my own presence. And that applies to each one of you that is here. Well, it just really multiplied my yumminess even more. So today it's camaraderie. Some time ago I received, when I was receiving all these downloads on full spectrum well-being, I received a very specific one where I was inquiring about stress and anxiety. And it was during my, I call it silence wisdom, where I had a period of silence and the focus was on anxiety and depression. And I was asking about stress as a source of anxiety and depression. And that was a point where what I saw was, well, that that's in what I'm receiving as wisdom, anxiety and depression will really not have any space to exist. So there won't be any existence of that. But the piece that required to be worked on was loneliness. I was shown that loneliness was the disease that was building up. And you didn't have to be living alone, isolated somewhere. You can be in a relationship, you can be in an intimate relationship and still be very, very lonely, feel very lonely. So it was like, okay, anxiety and depression is one thing, but let's just go to what's even underneath that, underneath that, underneath that. And then it was loneliness. I did not get a solution per se to loneliness at the time, though over the years I have seen glimpses of how this loneliness pattern can be interrupted. And one of the things that it calls for is a oneness with our soul presence if we are to address this whole issue of loneliness. Because as a soul being, we are not lonely. As a soul being, we have made soul agreements. And we do recognize those beings with whom those agreements have been made. And all there is to look for is through the eyes of our soul connection. And we will see friends and family all around us. We never come across anyone that we haven't already said we are going to meet in this lifetime. So that in itself, for me, was a very big revelation because I was going through and really understanding, how do I operate in the vibe of my soul presence? what we are doing today makes available and accessible that same understanding that you are not alone. Not only that you are not alone, you actually have comrades. And it reawakens that vibe of camaraderie. It reawakens the experience of co creating coexistence with a comrade or with comrades. And doesn't matter. Here's a nuance about comrades also. You don't have to be friends. You just have to be aligned to a stand that you've taken. And you're comrades in the context of that stand. And together, whatever it is that you put your attention to as comrades gets fulfilled with greater ease. There's there is a wholeness to the completion of whatever it is that we take on. And it is when you're co-creating with a comrade, it is a being doing dance because both of you are so present and connected to the stand that you've taken. And for now, if you already know who you are in your source mastery, that is a very good indication of your stand. And I know that some of you here have been doing the work with me and are part of the Federation 100, so you know what you are causing here in the world. And for everyone, we can certainly take on anchoring humans and humanity in this innate vibe of the love that they are. And we can take on the spirit of camaraderie to co create that remembrance. And that remembrance in a holistic way, in a full spectrum way. And literally, what we are doing here is by anchoring camaraderie and the spirit of camaraderie, we are attuning it to the innate vibe of being human, which is love. And what does that innate vibe of being love as a human does? It amplifies it automatically. So suddenly, you know, doorways open, pathways show up that enable us to see clearly, and courage rises within us, and we can put on our shoes that are the perfect fit for us and start walking that path, being human, being love, and co creating a planet where humans and humanity are not just connected but anchored in this amplifying frequency of love. So you can imagine each one of you, me included, you know, here we are, a holographic presence that is already quite expanded and connected to all the connections that we have already made, that we are conscious of, that our subconscious is aware of, that our unconscious also understands that we may or may not have yet connected with, but that connection has taken place as a soul presence. So even just that alone expands our presence. And with this vibe of camaraderie and the spirit of camaraderie that we are today going to connect with, reawaken to, and attune for all of those connections, you can already just envision and see that chain reaction starting. And I just love the vision of this beautiful blossoming of this vibe of love just spreading across the planet. And these are all little nuances that get shown to us every Saturday about 2021. So today, by understanding this whole camaraderie piece, knowing that our flow is going to be even more in the rhythm of who we are and what we came here to cause, in the fullness of our presence as a soul being anchored in this human body, this human form. And we have a comrade or several comrades that are also a stand for us to be that full expression of our soul presence through this human form. Any self doubt that you may have disappears, loneliness fizzles out, and off you go. You start noticing connections where you may not have even registered them before. You start experiencing a connectedness, even in your thoughts. It's like the level of clarity and the choices and your decision making process starts to transform as the dots get connected. And that brings in a greater degree of certainty within you. And there is a flow, even if you feel that you're at crossroads, having to choose vaccine, no vaccine, this vaccine, that vaccine, or whatever else it might be. But that's certainly on the mind of several people I know. It also gives you the courage of declaring what you stand for. It also removes cloudiness and clutter that may be interfering in you understanding what you stand for and getting into flow with it. It's like that thousand layered cake that the Malaysians make, you know. Camaraderie enables us to really eat our way through those layers. And knowing that every layer that you actually take on or savor, you are experiencing the fullness of its texture, its taste, its experience. And there's another one, and then there's another one, and then there's another one. And because you are engaged and stationed in the journey that you are experiencing and even sharing with each other, and certainly sharing with your comrades, whether you do it physically or you don't, you know that there are comrades that are with you on this journey. You literally become quite an expert at the being and doing tango, which is rich in passion, fires you up, enables you to be in your flow, raises your breath, brings in that air element, which has that quality of blowing away that which causes clutter and giving a perfect laser sharp focus whilst you remain anchored and stationed, connected to the earth that is the container in which you are going to emerge in your aliveness. So let's get together and experience the experience of camaraderie, opening ourselves up to connect energetically today to all our comrades out there that also have a stand for anchoring the human vibe of love in humans and humanity, opening up their own being so they can be stationed in love and start amplifying it, experiencing that whole and completeness, of being at one with the soul, at home, safe, secure, and knowing that they are one with each other. That is really what oneness is. You are the soul presence, and you are in this human form. And in this human form, you house the soul presence and you bring together the two as one, being love, amplifying it, experiencing that whole and completeness, sharing it with your comrades. So get yourself to be comfortable, sit upright, have your feet on the floor. If you must, you lie down, then please be respectful of whatever it is that your needs are. Imagine that the base of your spine is connected to the core of the earth. The middle of your feet are connected to the core of the earth. Drop your arms on either side of you. Have your palms facing forward. Stretch your fingertips a little. Imagine that the tips of your fingers are connected to the core of the earth. And this cord that is connecting you to the core of the earth, which is made up of precious metal gold, silver, copper, and bronze, each one of you has your own, like your own crystal that is matched and in tune with your own crystalline formation. So imagine that this cord has that crystal energy in it as well, and it will be different for different people. And the moment we are adding that crystal energy to this cord, there's a little bit of a tug. So you can feel that extra stretching of this cord. And as that extra stretching is being experienced, your feet are literally touching with a little bit of pressure to the ground. And as that pressure to the ground is becoming somewhat stronger, the back of your crown is being stretched up with a with like a hook. And as the back of your crown stretches up, your shoulders drop down. You can now lift your hands and put them on top of your thighs. Your palms are facing upwards. Your shoulders drop down, your shoulder blades come closer together. Your chest lifts up a little. The double chin disappears. And your neck feels light. Your body feels stretched and supported. You feel like you're embraced in this beautiful blanket of okayness. Okayness is the spirit of nature. And it's like you have this wonderful wrap around you of this blanket of okayness. Notice the edge of your lips. Notice that they are turning up in a smile a little. Own that smile as your own. And this particular smile is a smile that is coming from the expansiveness of your soul's expression through your human form. And as that soul starts to expansively express itself through your human form, a smile appears. And it's a smile which has got the vibe of knowing. It's the vibe of your inner knowing. And it's this vibe of your inner knowing that is the vibe of recognizing your comrades. That knowing is the first one, that we are attuning with this human vibe and we are activating that knowing to recognize and send out a beaming signal to those soul presences that you have chosen to operate as comrades with, so that that connection is made, that connectedness established, whether or not you meet each other physically. That connectedness releases any lower forms of vibrations that may have arisen through that feeling of being alone, that feeling of loneliness, that feeling that multiplies that loneliness experience into anxiety and anguish and concern about not belonging and wanting to just go away, go home. So, all of those lower spinning vibes that take you on a spin and you go deeper and deeper and deeper into these low vibes from time to time, those spins are being released. And as those spinning currents or spinning um, movements that have energetically been anchored in your field, as they are released, your field doesn't become stationary. It actually enters into the rhythm of flow. And this time, your field is in the rhythm of your flow. And you can feel that feeling, you know, of your flow. You're surrounded by it. You're being showered with your flow. You're experiencing you in your flow. For some of you, you may feel a little twitchy, you may experience a little bit of cramping. That's just because physiologically your body is just rushing ahead to get itself to experience that comfort so it can absorb this vibe as a remembrance of you in your flow. So, in that rush to get there, it may cause a little bit of cramping for some of you. Others will experience tingling. All of you will experience the edge of your lips turning up into a smile. Any lower energies, any vibes that are not conducive to the human vibe attunement and are not no longer in service of your highest good, they are automatically being released. Feel the base of your feet connected to the ground, please. Because what you're experiencing may be pulling you up into your expanded presence. So you may lose the connection to the earth momentarily. So just keep noticing your feet connected to the ground. It allows you to have that deep meditation like expansive feeling with a smile on your face and complete decluttering of your energy field. As you stand and sit and presence yourself in this zone of complete clarity, experiencing the spirit of you. You notice right there in front of your eyes a door, and it's a circle, it's a circular door. And as you get closer, you notice it isn't a door at all. It looked like a door, but there is no barrier. It is an open space that feels so comforting and so comfortable, and it feels so natural for you to step into it. And as you step into it, it's a tunnel, and it's a tunnel which lights up. And every step that you take forward in that tunnel, you're noticing faces, people being shown to you on either side of you. And these are the beings that are being introduced to you as your comrades. Some of them you will know and recognize as people that are very present right here at this time in your life. And there will be others that may have just been a passing phase in the past, and there would be others still that may have played a really important role at some point in your life, but are no longer present. But the gift of those people has been something that you remember now, re-remember. And as you walk forward, with each image that you see, each connection that you make, that connectedness that opens up, you feel that feeling of comradeship. You experience the vibe of amplification that you and your comrades are causing together to make this planet a place of pure love and joy. You feel the feeling of regenerative expansion of this planet transforming and transmutating from time to time, if that is necessary, into a place of pure love and joy, knowing that all the resources that you have ever known, that you have access to, that you would like to have, are all already always there. And you're making your presence known to those resources energetically, so that as you become more at one with your flow and you open yourself up to the spirit of camaraderie, you become a magnet for all the resources and gifts and talents and magnificence and understandings that your comrades bring to you. So you can realize and fulfill fully what you came here to cause and make happen. Notice yourself going deeper into this round town. And you're now entering the next leg of your journey. You are stationed in the attunement of the human vibe. And you notice the yumminess of the delectable presence, undeniable, unequivocal presence of the vibe of love. And you know that whenever you want, you already have your natural collaborators, and you connect to that inner knowing, and you develop a trust in your mind to support you to recognize and discern and differentiate your comrades from your collaborators, from your supporters. From those that are going to be your co creators versus those that are going to be your ambassadors and evangelists. You can now feel your eyes just settling deeper into your eye sockets, your tongue dropping down, and your mouth feeling so relaxed and loose, the crackling in your ears disappearing and settling in so perfectly. And you notice you are this huge presence in the center of the world, and it is your world. And in your world, there is like a fast forward display of how expansive your world is as you see all of these people, experiences, projects that you've ever engaged in. You had such an infinite capacity and capability that was called for by all of these people. Some you recognize, many you don't, but it's like a fast move forward movie that is playing out all around you. You look up and you see these experiences. You look to the right, you see these people. You look to the left, you see these projects. Everywhere that you have allocated any energy to whatsoever, in even noticing this all around you, you are owning and receiving the energy that you have ever given out to any of those comrades. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever it is, you're claiming it back into you. And just as it comes into you, it automatically steps up, infused by the vibrational presence of your higher self, and feels completely healed before it enters and plumps up your cells with that unique flow of vibrant vitality that is so special and unique to you. You look down and you notice the earth is holding the container for your emergence. And in this presence of graciousness and gratitude, you connect to the spirit of camaraderie, and you connect to the energetic presence of all of your comrades. And together, we come together. We stand in this huge circle, holding hands, transmitting our energy to each other. And we are going to infuse our presence and through us the connections and connectedness with the human vibe attunement. Breathe in to the count of 9, hold to the count of 4, breathe out to the count of 6. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are now going to step into the human vibe attunement. The declaration is coming from our soul presence and in this human form, fully and completely and wholly harmonized as one. So repeat after me. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human.
I receive.
I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human.
Receive myself.
I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human.
12:30 is the target. If you're having a
I
breath.
receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I anchor the human within humanity. 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 Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your hands in front of your throat, rub them against each other, put them over your eyes, open your eyes, and then take them on top of your head, the back of your head, down your neck, down your shoulders. Just do an energy sweep. The human vibe attunement is complete. So you can go ahead. I know we were a little bit over this time. Please share one word so that we can anchor that in our space. And if you need to be somewhere, please go ahead and go wherever you need to go. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. You can share in the chat. Just want to be sure. Grace descending and abounding. Glorious love, gratitude. Thank you to all my comrades on the call. Blessings indeed, magnificent. Comrade, thank you. Grace and gratitude. How wonderful, right? Just to know that we have this. My soul is singing with the possibilities of all my comrades. Yeah, and co creating with them. How fabulous. Beautiful. Thank you all for being here. And I look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Thank you. The richness of humanity. Yes, that's the amplifying energy of love. Thank you. Namaste.